Hey everyone, welcome to Your Learn Lab. I'm Seema, and if you're an IGNOU student, you're in the right place. We create easy to follow videos on IGNOU courses to help you understand better and score well in your exams. So if that sounds helpful, hit subscribe and join me on this journey. Today's video is all about giving you a complete overview of MEG 2 syllabus, which focuses on British drama. This paper takes you on a fascinating journey through centuries of English theatre, from the bold tragedies of the Renaissance to the experimental dramas of the 20th century. Let's go block by block so you know what to expect and how to approach each play. We begin with the Renaissance, a time of intellectual awakening. Marlowe's Dr. Faustus introduces us to a protagonist who dares to seek knowledge beyond human limits by striking a deal with the devil. Through this play, we explore the conflict between medieval morality and Renaissance humanism, setting the tone for how drama began to wrestle with big philosophical and theological questions. From the intense ambition of Faustus, we now move to a completely different kind of play, one that blends fantasy, romance, and comedy. Next, we have William Shakespeare's romantic comedy, A Midsummer Night's Dream, set in a magical forest where fairies manipulate human lovers. On the surface, it's a light-hearted and funny comedy, but underneath it explores the nature of love, illusion, and transformation. It's also important for understanding Elizabethan comedy structure and the use of multiple plot lines. Now that we've seen Shakespeare's comedic side, we move to one of his most profound tragedies, full of introspection and psychological complexity in Block 3, Hamlet by William Shakespeare. This is, as we've just mentioned, one of Shakespeare's most profound tragedies. In Hamlet, we encounter a prince torn between action and inaction. This is a play about revenge, madness, grief, and the burden of moral responsibility. Hamlet's famous soliloquies force us to consider what it means to live, to act, and to doubt. And in doing so, the play becomes a cornerstone of psychological and philosophical drama. The play invites deep philosophical reflection and is often studied for its psychological depth and poetic language. After two plays by Shakespeare, each showing a different facet of his genius, we shift to another major figure, Ben Jonson, known for his sharp satire and precise comedic form. The Alchemist by Ben Jonson introduces us to a London full of scams and schemers, where greed rules and gullibility is easily exploited. This is a city comedy that satirizes the ambitions of urban society. The play uses the comedy of humors and reflects the social dynamics of Jacobean London, where deception and fraud thrive in a rapidly changing urban society. It mocks greed, gullibility, and the absurd lengths people go to in pursuit of wealth. Now, from the bustling, cynical streets of London, we now cross over to rural Ireland with a play that sparked outrage and became iconic, The Playboy of the Western World by J.M. Synge. Set in rural Ireland, this play was highly controversial when first staged. This Irish play explores how stories, violence, and identity intersect in a small village. A young man claims to have killed his father, and instead of being condemned, he is celebrated. Synge uses rich dialect and rural setting to examine heroism, myth-making, and the collective psychology of a community. It also opens the door to the cultural and political tensions within early 20th century theatre. It's valuable for understanding Irish identity, language, and the tension between tradition and modernity. We now move on to the modern period, where drama begins to look closely at class, language, and power structures in society in Pygmalion by George Bernard Shaw. In this drama, Shaw brings a sharp critique of class and social mobility. Language becomes a tool of transformation. In Pygmalion, a phonetics professor transforms a poor flower girl, Eliza Doolittle, by teaching her how to speak proper English, like a duchess, raising important questions about class, mobility, gender roles, and personal agency. Shaw blends social critique with comedy, continuing the tradition of using drama to reflect and challenge social norms. This play combines realism and social commentary with humor and irony. Next, we move into verse drama with a modernist twist. Here, poetry meets politics in a spiritual context. in Murder in the Cathedral by T.S. Eliot. Eliot's verse drama deals with spiritual authority versus political power. It tells the story of Archbishop Thomas Beckett, who chose martyrdom over compromise in the face of political pressure. Written in poetic verse with the use of chorus, the play explores themes of faith, conscience, sacrifice, and the struggle between spiritual and temporal power. It's deeply rooted in ritual and religious structure, but also speaks to modern anxieties about authority and destiny. As we approach the mid-20th century, drama becomes more personal and politically charged. Emotions are raw and realism dominates. John Osborne's Look Back in Anger is a play that represents post-war disillusionment in Britain. This is a play that gave rise to the angry young man movement in post-war Britain, and through the protagonist Jimmy Potter's emotional outbursts, the play critiques social stagnation, class frustration, and the disillusionment of the younger generation. It's a turning point in modern theatre, one that focuses on the kitchen sink, the domestic, and the deeply personal. And so we end with the landmark of modern drama in Block 9, Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett. This landmark of the theatre of the absurd challenges everything we expect from drama. Two characters wait for someone who never arrives. Nothing happens, yet everything is happening. The play deals with existential despair, the search for meaning, repetition, and time. It invites us to reflect on the condition of waiting, on the rituals of language, and the absurdity of human hope in a chaotic world. So, that's your MEG 2 syllabus, 9 plays spanning more than 4 centuries of drama. Each block introduces a new historical context, a new dramatic form, and a new way of exploring the human condition, whether through comedy, tragedy, satire, or absurdism. To prepare well, start block by block, focus on the themes, context, characters, and structure. Take note of how each play fits into the evolution of drama in Britain. In the coming videos, we'll dive into each of these plays in detail, starting with Dr. Faustus, and we'll look at the story, key themes, important scenes, and tips on how to write about them in your IGNOU exams. So if you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video, share it with your fellow learners, and hit subscribe to stay updated with your Learn Lab. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy learning!